What's happening, Forum? Today we're gonna be doing Khan, Leanne's servant and big, bulky bodyguard. Who's joining me today? Today I got my co-host.
Co-host? I say 5 words and then I'm done.
That's 5 words too many.
Well, Ed, to get off this awkward topic, how about you tell me about Khan?
Good, I'm glad you asked me a question so I can do most of the talking and you can just listen. Who is Khan? Khan is this giant jack dude in a suit of armor. You can't even see his face, everything is protected, and he's got the coolest gun, the coolest abilities, and he's like 1 billion feet tall. Now, while Khan is currently serving as Leanne's bodyguard and protector, Leanne, who is the heiress of the Ruby Throne, Khan wasn't always the big, bulky guy in armor. He wasn't always this big dude that you look at and you think, I'm good, I got to do at home. I don't really need this in my life. But also, Khan wasn't always like that. Khan used to be just a scrawny little dude. He used to be just a captain for House Aico. House Aico being one of the many houses that exist in the magistrate side of the realm. This one time, while he was serving as a captain, one of the big boys up the ladder, up the hierarchy of the ladder, he said, hey fellas, I got a challenge. Who can hold the House Aico banner for the longest time? And a bunch of captains lined up. Couple of them lasted 5 minutes, couple hours. The most they'd last is like a day top. And then Khan showed up. Khan, who's just oozing, just a giant aura of patriotism, because he loves House Aico. He's holding it, and a couple hours go by, and he's already starting to buckle. They had the whole audience set up just watching this, like screaming his name. They got fangirls, big signs, and then he's like starting to falter. He's like, I gotta hold this flag for a little bit longer, otherwise my wife won't be able to look me in the eyes. I assume he was married. After a couple more hours, he just couldn't take it anymore. So he called over like some guy that was hanging out. He told him, hey man, I can't do this anymore. But if I drop, the flag's gonna drop. And since I'm oozing with House Aico patriotism, I can't let the oozing stop. So you must carry on my ooze and hold the flag for me. And then the servant just burst into tears. He was just oozing with tears. Even the captain, who was like, you passed. The test wasn't holding the flag. It was showing your true House Aico blood. And then Khan was like, oh, thank God. I was talking out of my... I'm dead. I'm so tired. Can I get some water? And then the captain was like, you know what, kid? You got moxie. I like the oozing. I like the patriotism. I like your ooze. Forget being a captain. I will now grant you the title of the Queen's bodyguard. And that's where Khan ended up. You gotta show the love for your country to get where you want to be, which is where you got Leanne's bodyguard. That's like number 2 in the house, I assume, right? Leanne was at the top of her game, Khan was at the top of her game, and Leanne heard about Genos becoming a god. You already know what happens. And she was like, Khan, I want you to go to that mountain where Genos is at, and I want you to beat his till he joins us. And then Khan said, yes. Khan went to Ascension Peak, and then Genos came down with his army, and then Khan came down with his army, and both their armies just like slapped each other around, and then only both of them were left, and they just stared each other down, and Khan was like, you're joining the magistrates. And then they had a huge fight, and Genos was still like, nah, I can't join you, y'all are evil. And then Khan went, I don't take no for an answer. And they kept slapping each other around into a never-ending slap fight. And that's who Khan is. Just a guy who loves his country and doesn't take no for an answer.
Wish he wasn't married.
He's married to his country. He's just oozing with love for his country.
Stop saying oozing.